Today I will be folding an exploding box lid from one full sheet of 12 by 12 cardstock. I will be using a piece with the grid drawn on by a Cricut machine. If you don't have a Cricut or other cutting machine, the instructions for hand measuring and scoring are on the same blog, lucinestuff.blogspot.com, as the uploadable Cricut grid and the instructions for that. So let's get started. So I'm going to take a scoring tool. I'm just using my little ball tool here and score all these lines. And I'm going to go ahead and score them all right now, but I will be cutting that out of the video because you're not going to want to sit there and watch me score these lines. But it's pretty simple because you just go right in between those drawn spaces. And it's pretty hard to make a mistake. All right, let's see if I got them all scored. You do not score the line where you drew. Those are not score lines, just with the pencil. Those are not score lines. And if you don't do anything but the Cricut, those aren't going to be there anyway. Those draw lines were from when I drew it, and I was going to do it by hand, and I changed my mind. All right, got my lines. Now I'm just going to fold all the lines and make sure they're folded. Doesn't matter which direction you fold them in. I'm just going to fold them all in this time. I usually use a bone folder to make sure these lines. This is a bone folder. There's quite a few different kinds of bone folders. That's my favorite. But you can also use your mat scraper if you're doing this. If you have a Cricut, if you don't, then you can use just about anything. But it really does work better if something all right, I'm going to fold them the other way. Some of these will fold that way. Now I'm going to cut the 4 cuts on each side that need to be cut. I'm going to use a knife on one to show you how I would do it with the knife, and I'm just going to cut a couple with the scissors because that works fine too, especially if your lines are well defined. So what you're going to cut is this to the centerpiece and this to the centerpiece on both sides. So you're going to have an angular flap right here. Here's the cuts are here and here and here and here, 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 and here. So there's 4 cuts on each side. You don't cut anywhere in the middle, just on those 4 places on each side. So you can take your ruler and you can do these both at the same time. You're not cutting anywhere into the middle. So I'm going to start here, and I'm just going to cut down, and I'm going to start here, and I'm going to cut down. I can do that on the other side. I'm going to start right on the fold. I'm going to start at the center and cut down, and at the center and cut down. Or if you want, you can take some scissors. They're on that fold line. And just cut. So now that's all you've got. You've got this whole triangle with no cuts. You've got 2 tiny flaps right here. Then you've got your 2 tiny flaps right here. And then your triangle here. All right. So now to fold the box is actually really, really simple. You got the flaps here. The flaps are actually what's going to make the box sturdy. So we're going to do one side at a time. So what you've got to do to get this and this in is you take these 2 little loose things and you bring them in to the wide area. Let's get this out of the way here. All right, so you've got these 2 flaps. Okay. brought them in, and I'm going to hold them in that area there. And I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to wrap it right around those flaps into the center, just like that. So easy. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I'm going to bring these two flaps in. If you want to put a little piece of tape or something to hold that in, you can. This one was cut a little loose on that side, I think, so it's not staying right yet, but it will. Bring these two in, okay? And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to bring this right straight up. Okay? You're going to flip it over it, and you're just going to press it down inside, just like that. Now these, you take these little flaps, they go inside, like so. You're going to bring this in, push it down, and that little flap goes right inside. See, like that. You're going to push these in, and you're just going to push it right in. Oops. Push it right in, bring it in, push it down, and you can glue that in if you want, but it's going to stay. Is that cool? Box. You bring your box up, and you put your lid on, and there you go. An exploding box. The lid off, and it explodes. I think it fell out. Okay. Looks like I forgot to glue down the center. Okay, there we go. I also have several other blogs, craft blogs, and a couple of Facebook groups. If you would like the information on all the groups and the blogs, join the Facebook group, Cricut and Craft Lovers, and I'd love to see you. Bye.